Hello. Thank you for joining me. I have a big message for you. Um, and I hope that you are in a comfortable and calm place within you to receive this love letter. And truly, this is a love letter towards you and your power and your ability to bring really, like, it feels very off-centered emotions that are heavy and that can weigh on you, and that honestly can block us from being able to exist in our authentic self, mind, body, spirit in this moment. And there is this big recalibration that you are finding, and that you are continuing to find. It's little bits and pieces of information. There is this big understanding about the power of our thoughts, our emotions, our feelings, our beliefs, and bringing in balance and light to dark corners of our minds that we have been afraid to go. And there's this resonance of the past and the pains of the past and the traumas of the past, and then the future and the anxieties of the future and different things like this. There is this need to balance out these scales. And if we're talking about magnetizing our bodies and magnetizing our minds so that we can come back into this non-duality of things, of thoughts, of ideas, things that maybe weight us down. And there's this huge resonance right now that I've been just seeing so many signs and different things about the need to balance out our thoughts that stem into our actions, that stem into our realities. And when we're talking about magnetizing and really manifesting a better, less restricted, more whole, more free, more authentic life for ourselves, there is this need to balance the scales. And I want to give y'all some tips that I've really been having. There's been so many chords, and I'm seeing this weaving of the past and the future in this present moment to find a wholeness and a quiet and a peace, so that you can become receptive to a more whole and like your home in your body, like your thoughts are not weighing on you. And if we picture it physically, it's like if my thoughts are a scale, it's like it's so I'm just gonna share a little bit about me and my story, and I'm sure like this may resonate with some people, but I used to deal with a lot of like really like and I still do. There's a process, but thoughts that felt out of control, that felt imbalanced, that felt very hard to be able to find peace in my body, because they would come in so strong, and they would come in so like I was so like the pains and different things like that really struck a chord in me previously. And the thing about that is that pain exists on a line. So like, okay, so let's put light and dark on paper, but instead of let's put them on a line of comparison. Let's write them down. If we were to write light and dark, and I'm seeing one of those one of those straight lines. Like if we were to write light and dark on one end of each other, they exist on this polarity. They exist on this line between the opposites. And maybe in the middle of those things, there are different things that like start to blend into each other. So pain and pleasure can blend into each other, right? They're opposites in a intellectual kind of way, and there's a big resonance in that, and there's a scale there. And when we have an initial thought that can feel really like taking us out of like a good feeling or putting us in a bad feeling, and good and bad, right? There are these polarities. There are these like opposites of each other. And what has been really, really, really helping me is really combating when there is an imbalance, when I am not able to come home to my body and come home to this place of being able to be receptive of the present, the gift. The gift is the present. All of our answers exist in this moment, right? There is this resonance of being able to find peace and be in our authentic like whole space of peace. And there's a lot of roadblocks that can come up before we get there, in this way where there can be this imbalance of certain thoughts and ideas that put us in a certain mindset, a certain thought about something, and that can really throw us for a loop, if we let it. It's like, it's really like the power of our of the those scales within us. If when we're out of balance, they can really throw us off course and can really block us from being able to be in this state of being, of not attached to pains and conflicts and confinements of the past and chains and things like that. And not exist in the future where there can come up anxieties, and there can there's different things that can take us out of this present moment. And when we are taken out of this present moment, we can and there's like these energetic cords with the past or the future that are taking us out of this alignment with ourselves. It can take us out of that receptive like mode, and that receptive mode can be so intrinsic in being able to like be more creative, be more in tune with our authenticity and our thoughts, and be in balance. And there is such a powerful embodiment of being able to balance the scales within us. When thoughts come up, and things like that, when certain thoughts come up that bring us out of that balance, we can bring balance in there by acknowledging the other end of something. So, for example, if I am feeling like I am worthless, or I am hopeless, or like, oh, I'm bad, or things like that. Like when there is too much of one end of something, it can put us too much in that side of something that makes it so hard to then kind of like see something else, to believe something else. And it can be just as simple as I'm worthless, I'm not worthless. As like they're like it can be just as simple as bringing and balancing the opposite end of something, so that you can open up yourself and kind of just be in the present. And I used to like this is really like really has been a big challenge for me in the past. And like and I'm sure this might resonate with some people, it might not, but it really is talking about pain. And I went through a lot of like childhood stuff, childhood abuse and childhood trauma, and there was such a block within me, to being able to be comfortable and present in my body, and being able to be comfortable and like not being thrown off of like the really ingrained things within me that made me feel like darkness, like I was not going to make it out. I was not like there was parts of me that felt so chained to the past, that and things that were really like that things that chained me to the past, that were showing up in the present moment constantly. It was so hard to get myself to like not be in a cycle of thinking that was so painful, that it was showing up in the way that I moved, in the way that I spoke, in the amount, like me speaking like this in front of this camera right now was not something that I could do for a long time. It was something that I really, really, really struggled with. And it was these anxieties of the future, and that can look like I'm never gonna be something. I'm never gonna be able to, support myself. I'm never going to be able to be whole. I'm never going to be able to get over this pain. I'm always gonna be stuck like this. Or the future is hopeless. Like there's nothing for me. Like I'm gonna be stuck this way. Blah 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 blah. Those are all anxieties of the future. I am now painting the future with my mind and my imagination. I'm painting it to be this bleak, hopeless, worthless place where I am just not like I'm not going to be able to do anything. Like, and that is such a painful place to be. And when I know for those of us that have gone through certain things in life that have really built up those types of ideas, and we can all really get those ideas, right? That's not just people who have gone through trauma, but there's many things that can build up certain loops and certain cycles. It's like if your brain was a motherboard, and I explained this in a previous video. I'll link them but down below. But there is this there is this loop and programming that we can receive from the world that can reinforce certain things that can then bring up the same cycle, the same progression, the same energy flow of certain thoughts and ideas that can be really, really just not suited for our growth. And anxiety and then depression, right, is like if you were to kind of attach them to those certain ideas, like depression is oftentimes in trauma and pain. It's something from the past that is still in the future and still in the present healing. It's like pain. It's like when you are traumatized and in pain and depressed, there's often a really huge focus on the past, and oftentimes that's a necessary thing to feel. It's necessary to allow certain processes to surrender to the natural course of energy flow that has happened in your past, that is still sitting somewhere in your body, and sometimes you don't even know, and sometimes it's stored in places that you don't even know. It's like the subconscious can really hold a lot of shadows. It can hold a lot of things that it's under the rug. It's like and that makes sense. We live in a world where many of us are not allowed or able or have the know-how, it's not the way that our society functions makes it hard to really process and surrender and take the time for ourselves to process things. And there's a need for that. This is why you are seeing this. I feel like there is this need to allow the process of pain, of conflict, of anxieties, like, and that's what pain can do then, like, right, like when I say, like, the future is bleak, right? Like, there is something, that there is a belief, there is a thought, there is an idea that occurred that, like, really reinforced that triggered that thought, that there's a pain from the past that is lingering and affecting you in the present, and then now it's painting the future, and the future hasn't happened yet. So why are we confining ourselves to it? Well, there was a resonance, there was an impact, there was something that happened, there was a shame that was built, there was a pain that was built from the past that is still lingering. And there there is a there is such a need to be able to process, to let yourself surrender to that process of releasing, of coming back into balance, so that there aren't cords to the past or the future that are taking you out of being able to find home and centeredness. I don't know if that's a word, but from being able to find that centeredness in your body in this moment. And you deserve that, and you know you deserve that, and you are knowing in every moment that you deserve that. Our that there's something calling you, there is something pushing you, there is something really bringing you back home to yourself. There is something really bringing, like, wanting you to come back home to that balance center, and it brings up those certain things. Certain things that something that I really experienced before was when I got to a place where I was able to see something, and I got to a place of calm in my life. There was, like, and this is something that really, like, I went to, I talked to a lot of professionals. I was in a lot of different places in my life. But that idea where, when you have been in a crisis mode, when your body reacts somatically, and, like, when you experience a trauma or a pain in your body can go into crisis mode. It can go into high alert. It can go into a place of, like there is a lingering of that, like, crisis mode. But even when that crisis mode stops, even when you're not in a position where you are experiencing, or when you are like, experiencing that trauma, like, face to face, like, it's not happening, that pain face to face, there can be a lingering of that feeling, of that like, somatic response. And oftentimes, when you find yourself, even when that crisis, when that trauma, when that pain is not happening anymore, it can still linger. It lingers in very pervasive ways in your body. And there's some things that show up in our lives that reinforces that, those parts that linger take you out of this present moment, and being able to be free, and being able to be whole in this moment, with those cords that have been tugging on you and weighing on you. You can weave them together. You can weave the past and the future together into this moment. And that's like collapsing it's like bringing the duality, and it's like bringing the polarity of both of those, the positive and the negative. It's like the magnet. It's like you're the magnet coming whole. You are light and dark coming whole again. You are positive and negative coming whole again. You're weighing out the opposites, or you're experiencing a thought, a belief, and there is an opposite polarity to that. like when you pay attention to what comes up in your body, in your mind, you can identify the imbalance when like it's and it's different between like, so when you are, and this is, and this really affected me for a while, like personally, like I can see the opposite of something very, very easily. So I can experience the like it felt like the, even when I experienced something happy or something positive, my mind would introduce the negative very, very easily. It was like waiting for the other shoe to drop, but even like it would hijack good memories from me. It would like there was a part of me that would hijack from myself being able to exist in this present moment without it being like just taken over and in balance and really like just thrown off scale. And there's something when you're able to accept both ends of something, when you're able to bring together, weave together the past and the future, when you're able to acknowledge and accept a certain part of your body by introducing an opposite, by introducing, so I'm and the belief is the beliefs are very important in that, like those limiting beliefs that are so constricting and can really hold us back from being able to go past, beyond a point, start a new loop, start a new cycle, like not like a loop upward, like it's not confined to anything. And that's really coming back to the negative and positive coming back together. You're not then confined to anything other than being, so then you can be receptive. You can be receptive to the experience rather than the experience having a hold on you, on being leashed to a certain belief, idea, understanding. And in places of pain, of trauma, of anxiety, of things that come up that can feel really confining and chaining and like holding you back, there is a way to introduce a different perspective that is literally just introducing the opposite of something, just so that it can balance out the scales within you, so that you can come back into the your authenticity and your balance in the present moment. And that is a powerful place to exist and be in. It is a very magnetizing, it is a very, it's a very receptive, and like there's a feeling of surrender in there. And it allows you to undo and release the chains of something from the past and the future, that then allows more space and freedom within you and within your energy to be able to receive, manifest a desired reality, manifest more freedom, manifest more love, for you to be able to come back into that balance by letting go of the past and deciding to dream, deciding to when it's like being able to come back into that inspired place. When you come back into that home, when you come back into this present moment, I am me and my future, my past, I'm in the present. When I can come back to this present moment, I can take inspired action that is free. I can inspire, I can be inspired and dream new things because I am not attached to the past or the future. And then you can take inspired action from there. And that has been such a helpful place for me to be in. So take whatever resonates, whatever like, and listen, there's a place where you can come into this and do this so often that you are operating from a place of wholeness, from a whole heart, from a whole mind, like more consistently, and it brings in so much new energy and love and freedom into your life. And that is what you deserve, and what the freedom that you deserve, the alignment, the wholeness, the being able to be at peace, the being able to put the past pains, the past in general, and the anxieties of the future, or anything of the future, and being able to put it at rest so that you can come back to the present again and operate in that place and operate in the gift of the present. And I'm going to leave it there. I have so many more things coming in, and I would love to help you on this journey. And I hope to see you again. Bye.